Yes.
Hey, we're here right here at Mama June's on Perimeter Road. It's me, Big Raj. He doesn't even know who he is.
Oh, I thought you were going to intro me. I'm sorry. Yeah. No, I know my name. I don't know much, but yeah.
That's about it, right?
Yeah.
It's Jared, and then behind the scenes over there giving us all our information is Jimmy coming from the back.
Jimmy Jam.
Joe Jim. See, he don't have to listen or talk to us anymore now. Look, he's in the back. He can do whatever he wants to do.
He's chilling. Jimmy's got the best seat in the house.
Yeah, because he don't have to do anything. So anyway, we're here at Mama June's. We've got a pretty good lineup for you. We've got anything going on in Berrien County up there by the high school with the football
It's
team or
hot.
anything?
It's hot. They actually had a 7-on-7 today with Wilcox County, and I talked to their offensive coordinator, Dipper Davis, who was a former Lowndes County assistant for I don't know how many years, forever, right, Jimmy? I don't know.
Yeah, he was there a while.
Dip, and awesome guy, super hard worker. He retired from Lowndes, came up to Barry, and he's up there now. And of course, my son's one of the quarterbacks. I think he said we had 8 or 9, 10 touchdowns, whatever it was. We looked really good, so we had that going on. Softball and baseball, some more of those year-round sports, man. They've been off playing some scrimmage games. So and I'm assuming everybody is. I'm sure it's not just us. So high school sports is busy even in June.
Yeah, because actually this morning, I guess it was about 6:30, I was headed over to Cook County. And Cook County's having their softball. They're having their softball tournaments, and I'm not tournaments. They're camps and all that other stuff. So I was out there with my granddaughter this morning. Tell you what, they've got some young talent coming up there in Cook County.
They do, and I don't know the guys over there. I do know Cleve, their athletic director. Pretty good guys. So even though they're our arch rival, I still I like them.
Yeah, are they in the same? Is his mic up? Because I can't hear him at all in my ears. You don't hear him at all either. He don't need to hear himself. He hears himself all the time. Okay, because I can't hear him. Well, I tell you what, I will do this. That way I can hear you and you can hear me, and then we don't have to worry about it.
I don't hear me.
So if anybody's out there, let us know if you can hear Jared.
Or if you don't want to hear me, let me know.
Turn him down, and well, you have to turn me
Turn me
down.
off, which doesn't take much. Just saying.
That's true, unless you're 25. Anyway, so the local sports are pretty. I don't want to say dead around here, but they're doing all their summer workouts and things like to prepare for their season. Each one of them, for that matter.
There's nothing statistical to show, but this is where the grind is. You win on Friday nights by this stuff you're doing in the summer, obviously. Football, baseball, softball, everything is so year round.
Nowadays,
basketball, I mean, it's so hard for a kid to play. Basketball's having camps too. I mean, it's just you almost got to pick a sport and go with it, man. It's tough. So anyway, you're in full swing. You're just not.
You're not.
There's no crowd.
Well, yeah, and I think this is when the AJC and the AJC and the 247 Sports and all of them. They actually in the game. They actually do all of their what do they call them? Power rankings is on what they see coming out this year and during the summer. I guess is when they submit all that stuff.
Yeah.
Just on that note, I spoke with Jeremy Vendette over at Camden County, and he's going to speak with Coach Herron and their their booster members, and we're going to try and set up a Camden Fest like we did Lowndes Fest. We're going to go to Camden County, and we're going to do it at one of their local restaurants there. I talked to them today, so I think that's set. We just got to get the exact date on it. Again, we're going down to the Key Largo, to the Florida Keys at the end of July. So everybody come along with us. I haven't heard much coming out of Lowndes County.
Come along, bang a gong. That's old. I know that's as old as you.
What do you mean? It's old as me. You're as old as I am. Yeah, if that grew out, you see more gray in yours than you would be.
But I don't let it happen. Hence the 25.
Hence the 25. You try to make it. You try to live younger. I just want to live.
I can't do. I mean, not everybody can pull off ZZ Top.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Billy Gibbons, is that his name?
Yeah.
Whoever.
But I can. But see, what you're trying to say is I can. You can't. So
I
anyway.
am definitely saying that. I can hear me now.
Oh, hey.
Can I
he's
hear
back
me
on.
now?
Yeah.
Good.
We can hear you now.
That's my fault. I thought y'all had me on mic one.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Jimmy was.
See, that's not my fault.
Jimmy was stealing my
Always
thunder.
put me one and him two.
I like to hear
'Cause
me.
He said he's the second best looking guy on the show.
Yeah, maybe
Wait,
third
wait,
or fourth.
Wait.
There's not
Then
even.
where does that put me if you're first? I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, I like to hear me talk even when other people don't.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm saying keep you turned off. So anyway, back to where we were.
Okay. In the news, what's poppin'?
So I think Camden County and their athletic director, they're all game for us to come over there and
Cool.
And
Maybe we can in between on the way, like take the tour bus and hit the roads, because on the way there you've got Clinch County, you've got
Waycross,
Folkestone, the guys over there in Charlton.
Oh, they always have a powerhouse team.
Yeah, I mean you've got some power from this spot we're in right now at Mama June's on Perimeter Road, that Lowndes Valdosta, all the way over to the Eastern Seaboard. You got some powerhouse football.
But look, the powerhouse also going west.
It goes the other way. We weren't going that way.
Brooks County. We weren't. We always go anywhere.
Right, but
Brooks
I mean,
County and Thomas County Central.
Colquitt.
What I don't understand with Cook County, and this is for a later show, is Cook County, not Cook County. What I'm talking about, Thomas County, and Thomas County Central.
The stadiums are like a stone's throw away.
They're literally on a Friday night. They have to maneuver it where they're not in the city at the same time, because their football fields are literally probably about 2 football links away from each other.
It's like having a Walmart and a Kmart side by side.
Right, you see what happened then.
Yeah.
Kmart went out of business.
Well, what happens is if one of them's a powerhouse and the other one isn't, everybody goes there. But for whatever it works for Thomasville. I used to date a chick over there, and so I know firsthand. No, this girl I actually loved.
Okay.
That poor woman.
She was, man. I tell you what, she broke my heart.
So I mean, like you were saying though, we're going to take the RV out, and we could put Armchair Sports right across it.
Yeah, you could do like a John Madden where he was scared to fly, so he just drove everywhere.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's a lot of football. South Georgia is they love it, and they should, because it's a powerhouse.
Well, baseball too, because Tift County. We've got some information coming out next week for Tift County.
Well, we didn't even go. You were trying to go. Now you're going north.
Yeah,
Tifton,
no,
Coffee.
That's my whole point.
Osceola.
all around here in South Georgia is baseball and football, and basketball's not real big here, but they're into the basketball season, and track. I mean, around here it's awesome.
and where I'm at, I'm biased, but in Berrien, girls softball, it's a down season, and we'll probably have Coach C. Ray on. He took over for Coach Michelle Jones this year is his first year as the head coach,
right?
But a down year for Berrien is not making a Sweet 16 of the state.
Oh yeah.
And which is a lot of teams would love to do that. That's their expectation there. Girls tennis, Coach Jarrett Luke, I know him as well. They've back-to-back runner-up state, and that's against private. There's a lot of 2A private schools that you pay tuition. Steffi Groff's kids go there or whatever, but up against we're like the number one public 2A school.
Right.
It doesn't matter. You got to play who you got to play. But the fact is, those sports are so. I mean, you've got more than football here. Not just us, Berrien, but everywhere, Lowndes. And I mean, it's not a bad place to live if you want to see local sports.
If you're into sports and you're an athletic type, which I'm armchair sports, get it. I like to sit in the chair. But I mean, I enjoy going to see these young athletes and watching them become young men and women. And I think the teachers and the athletic coaches around here are just phenomenal to be able to produce and bring out.
And it speaks to their work ethic. I know you weren't here the other night, but Toombs County's coach, Richie Marsh, was here, and he said it. He goes, the work ethic that it takes to be a high school athlete, because it is year-round. It is hard. Kids do quit. The ones that stay with it, I mean, you got to give it to them. It's a 40-hour-a-week job to play high school sports, let alone be good at it. Just playing, period, is already there's your paper right there, is already a tough deal. And then the cream of the crop rising, so that's it's not a bad gig. It's probably the best 4 years of most people's life. I personally have moved on and had a wrestling career, but a lot of kids, that's high school sports. I got guys on Facebook that relive, man, I tell you what, the 1993 team we had where we give up.
Jimmy does that all the time.
Do you, Jimmy?
Yeah.
No, Jimmy has moved beyond that. But I'm just saying, like,
I didn't realize I did.
Oh.
You talk about playing back in. I'm talking about Lowndes County and back in the day.
What we were getting.
He always does that.
A lot of guys, it's the peak of their. High school sports is tough to do. So anytime.
So wait a minute. So what you saying? It's the peak. I peaked.
No, not you didn't peak.
Yeah.
You peaked this morning when you woke up. No, I'm saying that a lot of guys, especially in athletics, because there is beyond high school. Sometimes you don't go to college, you don't go wherever. So that's kind of the end of the line.
Right.
So, and I've got guys on, not everybody went on to do things that like I've done. I'm humble about it. I'm not saying. But,
yeah, he's humble.
But like I got guys on Facebook that have a page, the Red Tide defense from like '91 or whatever that and they're proud of it, and they should be. But like those are things they last a lifetime, I guess is what I'm getting at. I'm circling back. So these things that these guys do in sports, I told my son that way. Embrace it and realize what you're doing is like could be the peak of like the best times of your life, because sooner or later you're gonna have a light bill.
Yeah,
you ain't got a light bill right now, son. Okay, I know, because you're sucking up the AC and I'm paying for it. So just know that this is the best time of your life.
Yeah, and I completely agree. But I mean, we were talking about
and Jimmy peaked.
Jimmy peaked. That's it. But
sorry.
I can't mute y'all.
That's the problem. We've got you on the mute button. We were talking about the local area, but you know what we do is and the sports around here, they like to actually go north and play the North Georgia teams. And the reason they do that is because at the end of the year, they kind of see what they're getting when they get into the playoffs. Mm-hmm. For example, like the tickets for the Corky Kell Classic.
Say that fast. Yeah. Say it fast.
No, I'm
you
not
can't. You couldn't even say it slow. Try it again. The Corky
Kell
Classic.
Tickets.
You said classic.
Yeah, it's the Corky Kell Classic,
right.
But the Corky Kell tickets are what we're doing here.
Go ahead.
See, he tried me. I got
I just want to see if you can do it. You got me.
I got him. But the Vikings, the kickoff for 2021 regular season by participating in the Corky Kell Classic at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. And that's going to be at 2:45 p.m. Saturday, August 21st.
Which is a treat, man, to be able to go up there and play in the dome that an NFL team plays in. You know what I mean? A lot of guys, exactly. they don't. That's a big deal for everybody.
The thing is, my both of my boys who played, they actually played up there. And when they did away with that, it was really, it was not heartbreaking, but the kids just, they look forward to that all year, being able to play on that same field that some of the greats have played on.
Yeah.
And they can always say, yeah, I played on that field, and I used to play there. So,
I've never got to play there. I have driven Mercedes, but I've never got to play there, and that would have been awesome.
Boom. Anyway, so let's move on. What we got in NFL, Jimmy?
NFL, you want to talk about Robert Griffin, and is he going to play? Is he going to catch on for the 2021 season as a player or broadcaster?
So that
Can he talk? Like,
well, and
eloquently. He can obviously talk.
He can obviously talk. But I'm going to tell you, what I was reading today, evidently he can talk really well, because ESPN
He went to Baylor.
and Fox right now are in is it Fox? I believe it's ESPN and who is it?
Fox.
ESPN and Fox that are in a bidding war over him coming to work for them as a commentator or some field stuff. But the question is he going to play? And if he's going to play, are they still going to be fighting for him when he's done with wherever he's going to go?
Well, they're
You know
not
my
fighting
opinion?
for him now as far as playing. So
I think he'll become a camp arm. I'll give you my opinion if you want it. I think he goes to Philadelphia, and I'll tell you why. They've got Jalen Hurts,
Right.
who has a skill set similar to Robert Griffin at his peak. They've got Joe Flacco, who doesn't really fit the mold as far as using the same scheme as Jalen Hurts' skill set, Joe Flacco's skill set, not really the same. They just got rid of like 2 or 3 quarterbacks they had. The Eagles did. Like, they cut the other ones. They've got just the 2. Even if you brought him in as a camp arm, and I don't think they're sold on Hurts anyway. Do you not think there should be a 30 for 30 on Robert Griffith if there isn't already? The rise and the fall and the sort of stay down of his career. I mean, we can get on that too, but I do think he gets invited somewhere. It may be later in the. I got Boodadood.
I got Boodadood too.
Later into the. Nobody's fighting for him right now because there's these OTAs and stuff. They don't really need a guy that they're gonna. Somebody's gonna give him a look. I don't.
The
think.
question is, why did you pay to bring Flacco in? Okay, and then you have.
He's an older Wentz.
But your other guy. Well, then what you have is somebody there to help Hurts out. So my question is, why would you bring Griffin in when you have those two? So that means there's another body that you're actually going to have to pay guaranteed money to. Why not go with somebody that you're not going to have to guarantee money to?
I think if you bring Robert Griffith, then he's in on a day-to-day contract, nothing guaranteed, and you can cut him. Most people keep 3 quarterbacks. That's why I say that they may pick him up. And his skill set has diminished to the point to where he may not even make the team if he gets invited.
Right.
I think he's good enough of a pro quarterback to get invited to a camp, and then if he makes the team great, that's why I think Philadelphia would be a good spot for him. I don't think Hurts is the guy. I still think they trade for Deshaun Watson. They got 3 first-round picks in next year's draft.
Well, that's what I'm hearing, that Deshaun is probably going to go.
Denver's looking at him.
Well, Denver. Now, you were saying Denver right before we came on, and they're trying to work out a contract right now with him. But as far as going to him going to Philadelphia, I don't know. I think he should really.
Watson, you mean?
Yeah. No.
Oh, Robert Griffin.
Right. I think
Griffin. Griffin. I'm sorry.
Griffin.
Melanie Griffith is who I always put the TH with.
Why is it? Everything goes back to you and women. It doesn't.
Yeah.
Somebody's name. It has to go back.
Sorry.
But
Andy Griffith. There you go.
There you go. Andy, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Boy, you
that
talking
was
about turning me off.
His mic's not working.
Yeah.
So the whole. I honestly, personally, they're having a bidding war on him right now, because one offers this and then the other one offers this, and he takes that offer back. His agent's doing an excellent job. Why turn down that money right now? He's gonna get guaranteed money when he goes to one of those, just to be an on-field reporter, or they said they were gonna have him in the studio. So why would you not take the money? That would be just like
Everybody's looking for the next Tony Romo, I guess, and maybe that's why I don't see Robert Griffin as an analyst. He could be. I'm sure he's got something to offer, but he might can make more money playing ball, and the shelf life that he's got left of that, like I guess the on-air career can be later, is always there,
Right.
but the playing isn't. So I don't know. Maybe he just takes that and goes. I mean, it's less hits,
Yeah, that's
you
true.
know, and he's pretty fragile. That kind of
Well, that leg is. I mean, you saw
Unbelievable.
It's just, and he actually came back and played for you. Me personally, you got the leg injury. If you have your education, you're a smart young man. You can speak elegantly, and why not go and make the money where you can sit down and make your money and use your brain now? You earned it. Let's just use
Right.
it. They're bidding on you. Why not do it?
Currently, the quarterbacks in Philadelphia is Joe Flacco, Jalen Hurts. They had Jamie Newman,
yeah, and
but they
him.
cut him the other day, and they signed Nick Mullins
Yeah.
3 days ago.
Okay.
So I mean, I just don't think there's. I don't
And
think
Matt,
there's
and
anybody
Mullins
there
may be their camp arm.
Right.
I just think Robert Griffin's.
Well,
listen,
he'd be their third.
yeah. I mean,
QB3.
yeah. I mean, Robert Griffin is better than two of the three we just mentioned, and he might cut out. I didn't see a lot out of Hurts that made me say he's your guy.
And I agree, but you're bringing Flacco over, and maybe that's a motivation for him. I don't know.
I think it's on my way out the door for Flacco.
But
he's going to be the journeyman now.
Yeah, I mean, he's been a journeyman. I think he went to Denver and where else?
Right.
but with Hurts, is it because it's the wrong system for him?
Well, they brought
I mean,
a new.
just
They
like
got.
you could look at it and say, hey, perfect example is Brett Favre.
Right. Maybe. They got rid of the Super Bowl winning coach, Doug Peterson, which I thought was crazy. And they brought in Nick Schiano, I think that's how you say his name.
Yeah.
He was an assistant for Indianapolis under Frank Reich, who I like. I think Frank Reich's a really good coach. So it's a new system. I don't know what it entails, but look at the weapons. They drafted the Heisman winner. What was it, Devontae Smith? Is that his name? They got Jalen Reagor last year, who was probably the fastest guy in the draft,
Right.
or one of. They've got Miles Sanders at running back, they've got weapons. If Hurts can't make it in that system, I don't.
Well, then, okay, all right.
know-
See, but that just plays into what I'm talking about. Why would Griffin go there when they're building around what's already there? When they're building around Hurts, so
I don't, because they're not sold on him.
Well, if they're building around him, you're going to bring somebody in that you're not real
Yeah.
sure about. But
They spent a
you're not
second
sold
round
on him.
pick on Hurts. They're
Yeah.
not the end of the world, but I don't know. We'll see. I think Griffin catches on, and maybe the microphone waits, but who knows?
Right. Well, it's one of those things that I if it was me, I would take the money for sure.
Take the money and run. Me and Steve Miller Band.
I would. I sure would. But it's
but-
just like Andy Reid. I mean, the criticism that Andy Reid right now is placing him upon the GM who is now leaving. Why didn't he say all this about the? I'm sorry. He's criticizing Le'Veon Bell.
Andy Reid is.
Yes, Andy Reid is, and I don't understand why you do that publicly.
I don't know. And I think Le'Veon Bell, I don't want to sound like a juvenile, but I think he started it. And Andy Reid is a player's coach. Like, most players like Andy Reid.
Right.
They like to play hard for him. Le'Veon Bell has really, he had those few years in Pittsburgh where he was a Mack truck, got disgruntled, wanted out, went to the Jets, didn't do worth, anything there.
But,
He wasn't even a start. He didn't even play in the Super Bowl or the AFC Championship game. He was a healthy scratch. I think he averaged 28 yards a game for Kansas City in a high-powered offense, by the way. He could have spelled Tyreek Hill and got 100. Tyreek was getting 200-300 yards a game. Maybe his time has passed and he's bitter about it.
So the question is, though, is as Jimmy just said, has he not found the offense that fits?
Who, Le'Veon?
Yeah.
What's he want? Is he going to get 40
But
touches
you-
a game?
but
He can't do that anymore. Those guys that do that.
But that's what he's wanting. And look at
DeMarco Murray.
What's the guy's name? Just came. He was in Seattle.
Marshawn
Lynch. He came back and he was actually doing pretty well.
He was
Well,
okay.
he was
So,
okay
but
in a backup role.
But that's my question.
I-
Why can't you put Le'Veon Bell in that same
I
situation?
think Le'Veon Bell's his own worst enemy
Yeah, I
Right.
think he and his mouth are.
because his mouth. He's always criticizing everybody. Nothing's ever his fault.
But 7
it's always
touches-
everybody else.
7 touches and 28 yards a game isn't. You're not wowing anybody. A healthy scratch in the Super Bowl again. Just like I think they had LaShawn McCoy too. I mean, they had the who's who of broke down running backs and didn't play them. They didn't need them, but they didn't play them. Go try to catch on somewhere else, Le'Veon. But down in Andy Reid's not going to get you a job.
Well, and then Andy turned around and did the same thing to him.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's back. Should Andy have more class and leave that alone and let it go? I think he should have. So I mean, that's just my opinion. I think.
But you can't defend. I don't know the logistics of it. That's Andy Reid's. You know, he's also was the coach whenever T.O. was doing sit-ups in his driveway. So I don't know. He kept his mouth shut then. So I don't know.
But so why say something now? Why not just leave it be? So I want to say something about Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady being on the cover of the
I do too.
the Madden game. Go ahead. I'll let you go first.
Patrick Mahomes shouldn't be on it.
I don't think Brady should be on it.
Why? He just won a Super Bowl at 176 years old.
Yeah, okay. Then if you're going to do that, why don't you put the MVP of the league on it?
Because he lost to the
Doesn't
Super Bowl
matter.
champion.
He's the MVP of the league, so that means he's
Wasn't he
supposedly
on it? Hasn't Mahomes been on it?
he supposedly played better than any other NFL player in the NFL last year. That's why he's the MVP, right?
Scored 9 points in Super Bowl.
Okay. The question is,
That's the last game. That was the last game that they played before the game come out.
how do you justify not putting an MVP on the cover of a football? It's money generating.
I understand that.
It's money generating.
So you don't
That's all it is.
you don't think Tom Brady being on the cover of it's going to help sell it?
You just said it. It's money. It's not about what's
No.
in the league and who's there. The MVP of the league should have been on the cover. Now put Brady and Mahomes in the MVP on it.
Maybe it's a crossover, because people like me who I don't think Mahomes is all that, but kids like my son think he's like the greatest thing ever. Where old people like me, I'll say it. You know, I'm a Brady guy, so I'm not going to buy the game because I don't play video games except
I'm an
Mario
older
Brothers.
guy and Mario Kart.
Yeah.
I'm an older guy, and I just don't see. I mean, I can understand from a money standpoint, and that's what it's all about. It's about money. But why didn't you take and put on the MVP of the league, and you're putting two quarterbacks? Okay, they were both in the Super Bowl, but neither one of them won the MVP last year.
Well,
each year they've put the MVP on the Madden.
All right, think about this now. So Brady is the great as he is, and he's the greatest of all time ever. He is on the back nine of his career. And how many sports shows do you listen to where they say Patrick Mahomes is going to win 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? Maybe that's the NFL's game in all their way of saying Brady morphed into Mahomes' league and he's the GOAT, blah, blah, blah. So maybe that's their trickery of showing you that. They're comparing the two. But the fact is, the one guy waxed the backside of the other guy in the last game that was played. So
that's my whole point. Then why do you? I mean, and you did say he shouldn't be on there, but why don't you put the MVP of the league?
I would have been okay with that if Aaron Rodgers was on the front of Madden instead of them two. I'd have been okay with that.
But that's my only thing. It's about of course it's about making money, and they want to sell that, and everybody's going to get it because
now two people on it sells even more.
Well, yeah, because you're bringing in two different crowds.
You've got the young guy and the old guy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Who's buying the game?
Because people our age do
I'm
play
not
it.
buying it. I'm
They-
50
but they
years
do.
old. I'm not buying it.
There's people our age that's all they do.
They do.
There's people our age that do, yes, but
then-
not near as many as people Aiden's age.
That's right.
And 22 years old.
That's like
It's a crossover thing, I think.
The parents, when the Atari came out, weren't the ones playing it. It was us kids.
Yeah.
It's an age thing. And you're marketing to that age. I completely understand
It's a crossover.
But I also am saying I just don't understand why the MVP gets completely left out.
Let me ask
And
you
this
this.
is also the second time in 3 years Mahomes has been on it.
Yeah,
Because
how many times I got to look at it?
He's selling.
Let me ask you this, though. If you did put Aaron Rodgers on it, did he have to get on it naked? Because we don't know if he's going to play on that team or not. You going to put him in a Packer uniform? What if he ain't there?
Yeah, you put him in because
Put him in there in some boxer shorts.
Madden is based on the prior year's experience. It's not based on what's going to happen next year. It's based on what happened the previous year, and you're making that team, or you're building your own team with the players that were playing last year.
Right.
It's because you could say that about anybody if you're going to put them on the cover. Well, are they going to be with the team next year? You don't know.
Yeah, but he's saying he ain't. I mean, you know Tom Brady's going to be.
Right, exactly.
So.
Okay, we've got a caller. Let's hear who we got. Caller?
252-2521.
All right, go ahead.
Can you hear me, fellas?
Yeah.
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Well, I want to discuss this with you in reference to the MVP not being on there.
Okay.
One of the reasons I think is because of controversy that he's bringing forward right now and not agreeing with his own team, being basically a pain in the butt to the league by giving everybody a black eye with what he's doing currently.
Okay.
Right. I see that. I see what you're saying. But this decision wasn't made today. That decision was made 3 or 4 months ago to put him on this cover. So, I mean, was that controversy there 3 or 4 months ago, or did they just have this plan because they were both in the Super Bowl last year?
Well, caller, and I say this, who would have thought that Tom Brady was going to ever wear a Bucs uniform, let alone go to a Super Bowl and win it? How cool is it not to have a copy of Madden with Tom Brady in a creamsicle uniform? You know what I mean? And winning a Super Bowl. He has to. That's a bigger story than Aaron Rodgers winning the MVP. I want that on my cover. I'm okay with Aaron Rodgers going on it. I don't know why they're pushing Mahomes down your throat other than the fact that they're trying to cross over. Brady's 43. Rodgers is 38. Mahomes is 23, 24 years old. They're trying to find the next somebody.
Right.
And the NFL's cramming this guy down your throat, and that's why he's on the cover.
So, okay, caller, let me ask you, do you think that Mahomes should be on it then?
Well, yes, because he is the next great thing that they're pushing right now. And listen, I was not a Tom Brady fan when he was in New England, but when he went to Tampa and did what he did in the middle to the latter part of the season, I'm a believer in Tom Brady. He is one of the best quarterbacks that I've ever seen to be able to do it at his age, what he was able to accomplish, and with the players that he had. And I know I've heard the argument about these people saying everybody came from New England and came down. Well, New England wasn't that good when some of those players came down.
But didn't New England win Super Bowls with all of them?
He didn't win all the Super Bowls with them, no.
There was
some of those guys are collecting Social Security.
Yeah, they should be. But no, what I'm asking is, you're saying that they weren't in New England with him, and they didn't come down with him. They were in the same year that he left Tampa. They left and either retired or whatever. Or no, that's right. Gronk retired and played 1 year, and then he came to Tampa, and then Gronk came with him, right?
Well, yes and no. He retired and then came with him.
Right, yeah.
But listen, I'm just his body of work that he performed on the field. I'm telling you, I was not a Brady fan. I'm a Dolphin fan, so I'm anti-Brady. I'm anti-New England. But to watch what he did in Tampa this past year, I was absolutely amazed by it.
Yeah.
And then to bring Patrick Mahomes on the cover with him, I agree with that because he appeals to the younger generation. He is the push for the NFL right now, and Aaron Rodgers is not. He's the push away from the NFL right now. He's causing more of an eyesore, more of a problem in the NFL.
Right. I kind of understand where you're coming from, but personally, as far as Mahomes goes, I think, and you pretty much said it right there too, I think it's all about the money.
Okay.
I think they're doing it because of the sale. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think you take Deshaun Watson, you stick him with Andy Reid and Tyreek Hill and those cats, and is it Kelsey? And Mahomes is nothing. And Deshaun Watson's on the cover of that, and he's winning, and he fell into a perfect situation. I don't think Mahomes' skill set was all that. I think he got exposed, that you can rattle him and punch him in the mouth in the Super Bowl, and I think you will now see that he is who we thought he were.
Cam Newton now.
Yeah, I could see maybe not quite that much of a decline, but I don't think he's just running away with the AFC every year and Super Bowl back to back to back. I don't see that.
I agree, and I think that I think that Patrick Mahomes is absolutely a product of his environment. If it wasn't for the players and the team around him, he wouldn't be nothing that he is. Now, don't get me wrong. He's still a really good player, and he's able to make plays outside of the pocket. He's able to just sling the ball just about any direction he can. I'm not real fascinated with that, but he's able to do it. So he does have some talent. Is he the best? I don't think so. But
he's Russell Wilson 2.0, which isn't a bad thing.
It's not, but it's not
right. But it's not a great thing.
No, I mean, don't shove him down the cover of my video game when he got his backside spanked by a 50-year-old man, and it just so like Jimmy said, 2 out of 3 years he put him on the cover. I mean, I get it. The kids like that he throws the ball underhanded and left-handed and whatever else while he's running for his life.
No, I understand your point, but keep in mind, him and Tom Brady didn't go head-to-head. They had different defenses to go against.
That's right.
And give him the respect for that. Now, again, I am not a Patrick Mahomes fan either, and I don't think he's that good. But I understand why they're putting him on the cover. I understand why they're pushing him, because he is more of a model NFL citizen, in my opinion.
I'm cool with you saying that they didn't go one-on-one, and I agree. So when we're praising Patrick Mahomes, let's remember that we're also saying that, you got Tyreek Hill who runs the 40 in like 2.1 seconds and yada, yada, yada.
Well, and
he beat Jimmy Garoppolo. Let's, like, I'm going to use a Bill Parcells term. Let's don't anoint him yet.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah, that's just me.
I agree with you.
I say don't.
I agree with you on.
Go ahead, Colin.
No, I agree with you. I appreciate the time I got to come on and talk to you, both
awesome.
you and
Anytime,
Big
man.
Raj and Jerry. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
All right, y'all have a good day. We'll talk. Well, listen.
Thanks.
All right, later. So, I mean, I understand where he's coming from, and I understand the fact that Mahomes he's performed up to the last 2 years, and he's a phenomenon, and everybody was pushing him to be the best. But I also look at how the NFL has pushed Tom Brady and all the stuff that Tom Brady's had with Deflategate and all that other mess that's going on up there with Spygate and all that. So, I mean, everybody forgets about those things that happen, and everybody these two are on the front page because that's all everybody's talking about. So that's what's going to sell. And as the old saying goes, sex sells. So they're going to they think that these guys. No, there's not out there right now. We told him to wait till afterwards.
Okay.
Anyway, so but did you hear? Let's move on to some college. Real quick, we'll touch on college.
Yeah.
Did you hear that Lane Kiffin? Lane Kiffin and Nick Saban. They had a falling out like nobody would believe. He was telling him off and all this other stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Now he's coming back and he's saying, "Oh, he's one of the greatest coaches ever." What's the reason for it?
I don't need Lane Kiffin to tell me that.
Yeah, but why? Why
is he kissing up to him now?
Yeah, because he lost where he was at, and he's floating around at another team, and he wants to come back.
I don't think he comes back. I don't know, Jimmy. I mean, I don't need Lane Kiffin to make. I mean, he didn't reinvent the wheel just then by saying that. Maybe he's trying to make amends. Lane Kiffin has done that before, where he has shot off at the mouth and then had to backtrack, and so maybe that's all it is. He's stating the obvious. I mean, it's not like he went on a limb.
Well, and I agree with that, but why do you even have to go out there? Because he's not getting the publicity now, so he throws Nick Saban's name in the middle of it, almost like Rush Probst was doing. He's just throwing a name out there.
I don't know. LeBron, yeah.
I mean, LeBron's talking about the NBA stuff, and he ain't it no more.
Swapped his number over for Space Jam. And I don't know. I guess maybe that's Lane Kiffin. He's a weird cat anyway. Which his dad was an awesome, much better
great
coach.
Defensive coordinator.
Monty Kiffin was. I
had to bring this up. You guys just said it. Why is LeBron changing his number? Why do you think?
Sell some more. I guess he sold all the 23s he could sell in Lakeland.
No, because personally, what do you think?
I think he's just selfish.
Just a way to sell more jerseys.
I don't think he can retire that Laker number.
Really?
I really don't.
Who was 23 with the Lakers?
I mean, what's he done?
Because look, you got Jordan had 23, so that's synonymous with Jordan.
Yeah, but I mean, the whole league doesn't not use 23, just Chicago. So
I know that, but he can't be his own. This is just me thinking him selfishly, which he does. He can't retire that number, so he wants to go to 6. Has the number 6 been retired anywhere?
Not that I know of. Number 6 with the Lakers was Eddie Jones, I think, to me, if I remember right. Maybe Nick Van Exel.
So I don't see that number anywhere in the rafters.
I don't know the deal behind that. Even when Kobe would swap from 8 to 24 or whatever, I don't get it. Is it a sales thing? Is it a jersey sales thing?
Yeah.
Maybe. But they don't need the money. LeBron James doesn't need $1. I mean, I don't.
Well, I don't know.
Can't imagine that's it.
Well, I don't know. He's spending a lot of it. I I mean, you saw that big old house he just bought. But anyway, that was just one thing I wanted to bring up. I don't know
why Lane Kiffin states the obvious, unless, like Jimmy said, he's just trying to get out there and get his name in the news.
Bill Russell wore number 6.
Bill Russell wore 6 with Boston.
So, and they have it in the rafters at Boston.
But just in Boston, I mean, like, nobody does the Jackie Robinson thing.
But I wonder if he switched it because of that. I'd really like to know why he switched it. And I don't think he's ever told anybody. It's because Space Jam?
Because the attention isn't on me, and I want it
because
on
I got
me.
bounced in the first round, and y'all got a lot more basketball to play.
Y'all quit talking about everybody else.
Talk about me and Space Jam.
Well, that's true.
Now,
Which we just did.
Number 6. The number 6 has been retired for the Orlando Magic, and it was not a player. It was for the 6th man.
Which was
the 6th man.
Oh, so that's what LeBron is. He's the 6th man. He's not even a number 1 through 5.
I think you're about to see them. I mean that bubble championship's got an asterisk beside it. I think the Lakers, it'll turn into Anthony Davis's team if they don't have a blow up and he leaves. I think they got what they wanted out of it, but to go have a dynasty out of the Lakers with LeBron is not going to happen.
I don't think
Julius Erving, Walter Davis.
I don't think I don't think that.
Who was the Laker that wore it? Was it Eddie Jones? Tell me I'm right. I don't know why Eddie Jones comes in. He had like the worst mustache in the NBA. Next to Bird. Bird had a horrible mustache.
Yeah, but Bird, he didn't care. He'd throw down when you're right there on the court.
The hick from French.
While he's looking that up, now the Dallas Mavericks GM is leaving. I was like you. I didn't even know they had a GM. I thought
Mark Cuban was the GM, the janitor, the owner, the car parker.
I mean, he was out there shooting around the other day before their last playoff game that they lost. He was out there shooting threes.
What a weenie. Yeah.
I was like, they're gonna put a uniform on him.
I don't know about y'all, but you can come out here and get birthday sung to you. Happy birthday sung to you.
I see that. Mama June's is packed
at
out.
Mama June's.
Come on out to Mama June's where the chicken is delicious.
Where's that food y'all got last week? I didn't get any food this week.
Well, you should have been here last week.
We got you some cheese. We got you a big piece of cheese.
Yeah, I like that
for the big cheese. We got some big cheese for the big cheese.
How about somebody go grab me a plate of food so we can show them what we got going on?
Yeah.
Chris, why don't you go do that? You're now a waiter. Or have them bring just a big plate of food so we can show it to the audience.
So what do we got? Basketball is still in the playoffs.
Yeah, basketball. We're still going on with basketball. Atlanta versus the 76ers.
Boy.
What a
Jimmy
ball
Jam.
game last night.
Jimmy, we'll let you take that.
Jimmy can't talk about it because he was talking about him before the game started, and you notice they were 26 points down. And then after Jimmy went to bed, because Jimmy's old, he has to go back and get his sleep. 26 points. I did not think they were going to do it. I really did not think they were going to do it. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that, Jimmy, does that help your feelings at all? Coming back from a 26-point deficit, does that help your 28-3 Super Bowl feelings, or does that not?
You're muted for life.
Jimmy and I talked off camera a couple days ago about the Hawks a little bit. They've got that Spurs feel to them. There's not really a superstar. It's Trey, whatever his name is, Trey Young, I guess.
Trey Young.
Yeah. He's up and coming, but he's not just blow you out the water. But they're a good, solid, rounded team.
I believe he has got the respect of the NBA.
Yeah,
now.
I believe that.
I mean, you can't not. You've led your team back from Game 4. They were down by 18, and then last night they were down by 26.
Yeah. And the NBA to me is predictable, as far as you can look at the players and go, okay, they're going. You pretty well know. The Hawks, nobody predicted them to get out of the first round, and here they are, one win away from the conference finals?
I agree, but last year, Trey Young, he came on the set of TNT with Shaq and Charles.
The big Aristotle.
Yeah, exactly. That's about what he sounds like, too. Sometimes I wonder if they're missing from his head to his mouth.
I'm just saying, Charles.
Oh, Charles.
If you don't
Charles
hush,
is an idiot.
I'm going to hit you with this chicken leg. That was more Sean Connery, though, wasn't it?
My whole
I think Shaq told him last night he was an idiot again.
You're an idiot.
He always does. He tells him he's an idiot. I got some noise in the background going on. I don't know what that noise is coming through there. It's Bonehead over here.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead. But yeah, the Hawks. I mean,
my biggest thing right now with the Hawks, they're playing as a team. That first quarter last night,
Pathetic.
they didn't even look like they had played anything with the
they were saving it.
right. Oh,
look at there.
He brought us something.
Look at there.
Look at this.
Deliciousness.
What is that? We got some fried chicken, some fried okra. What is that orange stuff?
Sweet potatoes.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't eat sweet potatoes. That's why.
Yeah, the cream corn. The
Cabbage.
cream corn's off the hook.
Cream corn is real. I don't want to
Well,
I
he
don't want to
can't see
drop
it.
it all. Oh, he can't see it. Can you see it
Yeah.
now?
Yeah.
How about we
and
put
that's
it right
just
there?
and that's just the tip of it. I mean, there's
Oh.
shrimp, fresh shrimp,
Yeah, seafood night.
seafood.
So they have,
Man, it's good.
they have it all over the place.
Yeah, I've got shrimp floating all up in here. Not here or here so much, but right here.
Oh, I haven't swum. I haven't even eaten yet.
Really? And they're
Yeah,
still
and
swimming.
they're still swimming.
Yeah, it's really good. Mama June's on Inner Perimeter Road. Follow the smell.
Look for the Armchair Sports truck. It's actually sitting right out front.
Yep.
There's an Orkin car out front.
Yeah.
There's what do you drive? I'm not gonna say it out loud.
The chicks know.
The chicks know cars out front, and the Daddy Mobile in the back is out front. So right here at Mama June's, they do a great service.
So the other-
complete full buffet.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. The other Eastern Conference.
Well,
teams.
now, also one thing that is scary about the Hawks' success is what I said the other night that came out after our show, 5 minutes after we went off the air, is can we keep our coach? Because now he's rumored to be possibly going to the Celtics.
Right, here's the thing, though. If
he-
they win right now, he's not going anywhere. If they can win this series, he won't go anywhere. I will.
Yeah.
I will put it on the table right here.
Atlanta's not known to spend the money on coaches.
And they're not a destination for NBA. Boston's got. I mean, you go down there.
If we can win this, I think they will be in the future.
But that's what I'm saying. If you've got a coach and he has a young team right now, I don't want to say a dynasty, but he can win 2 or 3 with this team that he has. I just don't see him giving that up. He's a smart man. I don't see him leaving. I really
Celtics
don't.
But
job's a good job.
Mike Bodenhoser just a few years ago had us in the Final Four. I mean, and he left at the end of the year because they wouldn't pay.
They wouldn't pay, but you've got a different coach in there now, and
Exactly.
his mindset. No, but my point is his mindset is totally different. He's not there for the money. He's there for the players because he's been around the league.
Yeah,
It's
but
hard.
money
It's one
talks.
of-
So
I understand money talks, but I'll bet you right now that dinner that if they win this series, he doesn't go anywhere.
Well, it's not even just the money though. The parquet floor and all the rafters, the banners in the rafters in Boston. Boston's a destination in basketball.
it is. I mean, even though I like the Hawks and I pull for them, if the Celtics came and I don't have a contract with the Hawks, and I think about the history and the fact of, okay, if I go to Boston and they say, hey,
They're always trying to win.
We need this player, and they're like, no problem, we'll get them. The
They're-
Hawks,
See,
Hawks-
I disagree with
The
you
Hawks
guys.
are one fire sale away from
al-
being a 20-win team
They're
again.
always trying. Exactly. If it wasn't for the coaching and the team that they built, that they're building, he has built from the ground up.
actually, he
My-
didn't because he's the interim coach.
Right. But he was there before. He was there and he stuck with them. I'm telling you, I think he sticks with them. I don't think he drops them and run because he's got a connection with these guys, and these guys have a connection with him. And if they win this series, everybody, you can tell that this is going to be the team to beat.
I tell you what, win or lose, somebody else having interest in you just drove your price up.
It does drive your price up, but I just don't think it's about the money, Frank. I really don't. That's just me. The other
The other side, that
Clippers
Western,
and the Jazz.
yeah, is that Clippers are up, right?
Yeah,
3-2.
Clippers are up 3-2, and that came down
Kawhi?
to one of the same kind of deals because Kawhi actually will not be playing the rest of the year.
Yeah, I saw
So
that.
they're saying. So my question is, do you think the Clippers and Paul George and Blake and what was the kid's name that went off the other night for 27 points? Who stepped up after Kawhi Leonard went out. It should be right there in the notes. I can't remember his name.
But the Jazz are the 1 seed. Can they win 2 straight? They can.
I think they can, but can they win it all now that Kawhi's gone? I'm highly doubting it.
You know who this helps? The Suns.
Oh, yeah.
Other than the rust that you get, because I do believe that there's some game 1 rust once you are off like a week.
Yeah, but some of those kids that needed I say kids, some of those guys that needed to actually that
rest.
week off to rest. After a wrestling match, you need that whole week to recover.
And they're cruising, man. They're rolling.
Yeah,
man.
exactly.
They swept the Nuggets, who were a pretty decent team.
Right.
Phoenix is hot.
I think you're looking at Phoenix, and I also think now you also have to look at the Nets. They brought back Harden came back, so they won their game.
They got to quit limping.
But
though.
it wasn't because of Harden.
No, it was too. I disagree with you. And the reason it was is because Harden came in. He may not have scored the points, but they gave him They gave them somebody else to actually look at, somebody else to pay attention to, which opened up everybody else on the wings and in the middle. And Harden was passing the ball like unbelievable.
If they're going to go 2 more rounds, they got to get healthy quick.
They're going to have to get a little bit healthier, but I still think I'm going to stick with them as far as taking it all. They've got to win this round, of course, and then they've got to win next round. But I really think if they can hang where they're at, they've got Hardy back. They've got everybody else is playing decent ball. We'll see.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
I mean, Milwaukee's no pushover. I mean, they're going to be there.
The Greek Freak he's just amazing. There's just no other way around it. And they tore him up. And my problem with the Greek Freak is he did not want to play basketball in the first half, and then he came back playing ball in the second half, but it was too late.
They like to run up and down the court too, and
Yeah.
so does and which works well for them because most of Brooklyn doesn't play defense.
Yeah.
So if they can get caught up playing Milwaukee style, it can be a long night.
Right.
Brooklyn's going to have to make it a half court game, get Durant down, pull somebody out, jump for a jumper. They're going to spread it out, but if they run up down the floor, Milwaukee's healthier, younger, and that's their game.
That's what you've got to be. That's what you have to look at right now.
Yeah, Milwaukee will take them out if they can keep them playing their game.
Easier recovery time.
Yeah,
way easier because of their age.
absolutely.
What about Luka Doncic?
What about him?
Is not very happy with Donnie Nelson leaving the Mavericks. So does he start to push to get out of there?
That's who we were talking about just a minute ago. And
I was
we started on it and then we went to the Hawks because we wanted to.
Because he wanted to dig you on it. But I don't think he should be opening his mouth. I think he should keep his mouth shut and play basketball, just like I think LeBron should keep his mouth shut, and Kevin Durant and everybody else is in the high-profile positions. I think they should keep their mouth shut and play basketball.
Problem is they let those guys dictate who they hire and fire anyway.
Exactly.
So somebody if Nelson left, there was more than just Mark Cuban wanting him gone.
Somebody
was in his ear.
There was something else going on there.
Sure. So I don't know. But I'm like you. I watch it for you to play ball. And if you don't like a lot of times if you don't like your boss, you go somewhere else. But in sports, they can get a general manager out of there.
And the key there is going to be in the NFL. We're going to find out if that's true or not. The key there is Aaron Rodgers going to dictate what he has going on.
I don't think he wins it. I don't think he wins that battle.
I think Brett Favre at that point in their careers was greater than Aaron Rodgers. Somebody will call in and debate that, and they shipped him to the Jets. So if Aaron Rodgers can't sit there and think that he's better than what Favre was, and he's going to win it over.
The question is, you keep having these problems. Who are you going to bring? You had Aaron Rodgers when you were doing this with Favre. Who do you have now? You have Aaron Rodgers. You don't have anybody that's going to be the caliber of either one of those players. So your team is fixing to take a dive.
Well, you can't necessarily say that because they didn't know Aaron Rodgers was going to be Aaron Rodgers.
But everybody
But
thought
you
that
got
Aaron
Jordan.
Well,
but they
no,
think Jordan
that's
Love
not
can.
true. That's why they let Favre go, is because they had Aaron Rodgers.
No, they was hoping.
Well, they said they saw this in him.
And McCarthy
that's why
and
they let him go.
they wanted to.
But they're also saying they see it in Love.
Yeah.
You know what I don't understand,
true.
and even Rodgers could do this. All right, I'm not happy. I want out of my contract. You won't let me go, so I'm gonna go to camp. Guess what I'm gonna do? Every snap I take, I'm going to throw the ball in the dirt or behind him or an interception. I'm going to make you quit playing me because I'm going to be so horrible on the field. You're not going to want me out there. I'm going to disrupt the thing.
That's not a problem. I'm gonna send you to Detroit.
That's what I'm saying. If you
Or
really
the Jets.
which they have with Favre, if you really want out, don't sit home and fight back into it and then finally show up. Show up for work, do a lousy job, and let them get rid of you.
Well, I don't see doing a lousy job. I just don't. You just can't show up and do a lousy job. That's just
So
not,
you can sit in the newspapers and
it's not to
bicker
add,
back and forth?
You show up to work and you're going to do a lousy job because you're looking for another one.
Well, I mean, he can get another one
But
right now.
But that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you can't show up to work, especially with that athletic and that athletic mind and that you that want to win. You can't show up to work and not do your job. That's just not in you. That's not who you wouldn't do that as wrestling. You wouldn't do that in your regular job. People that's just not the way they are. That's not the way they're built.
I believe he could go to camp, throw the ball in the dirt 58 times, them cut him, and before he got to the parking lot, he's picked up.
But the problem, they're not going to cut him because they know what he's doing.
Right.
They're not going to cut him, so
But you're not gonna play him either.
You're spinning your wheels. So why go out there and even do it?
That's what I would do.
Because
Yeah.
you want out.
I want to leave.
All right, I don't know how we circle back to the NFL, but
Go ahead.
Circle back a
well,
lot.
my question.
We do a lot of circling.
My question would be, there is information back there. I gave you my sheet on the Major League. Hey,
Okra's good.
you've
man.
already eaten, man.
I know it.
The crackdown on the sticky stuff, as they call it. So they're cracking down on. I think we talked about this Tuesday night on the show. They're cracking down on the sticky stuff, and they're actually going to start suspending people. And if there's any intent, they're going to suspend the actual catchers, because what they're finding out is the catcher's putting it on the ball and throwing it back to them. So then now they're going to start suspending the catchers along with the pitchers. So there's a big controversy about it, and the Players Association is up in arms, and everybody's up in arms. And we've got it printed out. Jimmy's looking for it now.
Tell you what I think.
But yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
You're going to tell me anyway.
I'm going to tell you anyway. Suspending the catcher is far worse than the pitcher. If you suspend a pitcher for 12 games,
He's not playing but
he really
four.
only misses. He only misses 3 starts.
Exactly.
The everyday player catches it. You know, he's the one that's hurt by it, or the manager if you suspend him. Suspending a pitcher never really I never understood that, because, I mean, if you suspended him X amount of starts.
Well, he's supposed to be the one that's starting the controversy, so that's why they're suspending.
I mean, I get why you suspend him. I'm just saying he's not an everyday player, so.
Right.
Well, I don't think there's much respect for Major League Baseball anyway nowadays, especially after the World Series controversy of cheating and being told just don't do it again, but you want to.
But you know what? Even before that, who watches baseball anyway? It wasn't, to me,
Well,
the cheating wasn't as big a deal as it would have been 25 years ago when baseball was number 2 or 3. You know what I mean? Like, they're so far down, it's like,
When it was America's game.
yeah,
Well,
like
and
like
it's-
when
but
Joe
the-
Buck or Bob Costas or somebody like that was
But
announcing
the thing
games.
you've got to realize right now is this is just another thorn going in the side. The question is the catcher held liable for what the pitcher does if he's complicit in doing the action? So if he knows the stickum is on the ball, because he touches the ball every throw, so he knows whether there's stickum on it or not. So should they both be at that particular time thrown out of the game and both of them suspended? It had something in there on that paperwork I gave
I'm
you,
gonna
but
say
you can't
this.
find it.
The catcher touches the ball every time it's thrown.
Yeah, that's what I just
During
said.
Deflate Gate, the referees touch the ball every single play. How did they not know?
You're talking. You're
I
mixing
mean,
apples and oranges right now, because you're talking.
Not really, because
you are. You're talking
they
football.
touched the ball. They didn't realize it was
I understand
I
deflated.
wanna
but
debate that
but
one
you're
day
talking,
when
yeah,
we're not
we
on
will.
baseball.
Well, yeah, you're talking baseball and football. Number one, you're talking referees and a ball. You're talking.
I get what you're
every
saying.
down baseball, and the rule was not explicit enough. As right now, they're actually bringing the rule to the forefront, and the rule is being brought to the public. And the catcher catches that ball and holds on to it, and he either gives it to the referee or the umpire, or he sends it back to the pitcher.
Do you know what my question is to you?
No,
Or
I don't.
to baseball.
I know, and I'm not finished yet. So go ahead.
Go ahead.
No,
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just Jimmy was comparing the two, and me
It's not,
personally,
but
I don't see
you
I don't see the
consider it
difference.
apples and oranges, but
Yeah.
I don't.
How many balls do they have to put that on? You got to think. I throw a pitch, it's fouled off. I get another ball.
That's why. Yeah.
I throw a pitch, it's fouled off. Whatever, it's hit. Then I don't get that one back. I get another one. I mean, what's the consistency, I guess, of the stuff I'm putting on the ball to ball? Football, I'm throwing the same one every time. I'm not trying to go back to that, but
Right.
I'm throwing the same one. It's our team balls, or the same 4, 5, or 6 balls.
Right.
You'll go through, how many balls in a baseball game do you go through?
Exactly.
40, 50, 100?
Exactly.
I mean, who knows? How often are you getting whatever you're trying to get on the ball exactly like it's supposed to be? Because you're,
Right.
probably half the time you're not getting that ball back. I just
Right, and that's why they're consistently going to the mouth, or they're going to the hat, or
Right.
now behind the ear, the close up from behind the ear the other
Do you
day.
reckon they use the stuff like they said on Major League? Remember the movie where he said he had Bardol, Vagisil?
I have no.
what
Right
was
now,
it?
what I'm hearing is this tar. So whatever. I mean, it
Yeah.
could be anything to make the ball wet and slippery, so that way their grip slides on it or
yeah.
something like that. So I don't know if they should or they shouldn't with the catcher. My big thing is if he's complicit in it, then yeah.
Do you set a standard? I mean, like when you suspend a guy and his catcher, instead of a wrist slap, do you like do one where PEDs have done it where they were suspending guys like a year and a half? Was it
Right.
Brian Braun that was out like
Yeah.
a whole year? I think, right? And I mean, if you set a set of rules, okay, if you get caught
Well-
this time, it's this, and this time it's
We've got the whole sheet on what's the actual memo that they sent out. It was on the last 2 pages, I think. It literally specified exactly what would happen and who would actually get suspended and why they would be suspended and for what and all the other stuff. And the MLB commissioner sent this out with an asterisk at the top saying, "I'm the one making this decision. This is not coming from the umpires." So
It says repeat offenders will receive progressive discipline, and team and club employees will be subject to discipline for failure to comply. Umpires will perform period checks of all starting and relief pitchers on both teams throughout each game. Starters will be subject to more than one mandatory check each game, and relief pitchers must be checked once they conclude an inning in which they enter a game or when they are removed from a game, whichever comes first. Catchers will be subject to routine inspections, and position players may be searched. Pitchers will be responsible for foreign substances found on catchers and position players. A position player will not be ejected for possession of a foreign substance unless the umpire determines the player was applying it to the ball to aid a pitcher.
So they were extending it even to the position players. So I didn't read that far into it, but I guess what that is saying is if you're explicit in actually assisting in that crime.
Do they not think that Walter Johnson or Bob Gibson or anybody did any of those things?
No, I'm sure they do, but what they're finding out is the people aren't really interested in baseball because the pitcher is pitching it and the batters are getting struck out. So there's no excitement. Okay,
Well, you
up,
took the
3 down.
PEDs out of it when guys were hitting 70. Make your mind up.
Exactly. So which way do you want? I know you're for the PEDs.
I want to be entertained at a baseball game, and that's like football. Not taking it back to that, but some guys like a defensive struggle where the game's 3-0.
Yeah.
Some people like it to be 40-41.
Right.
You're not gonna make everybody happy. I like the pine tar thing. If a pitcher puts something on his thing, his brim of his hat, and George Brett, do you remember the pine tar where he broke it, got suspended? Then they overturned it a couple days later. Like, I want baseball to be a little gritty. I want Pete Rose to slide in head first and bet on himself.
Yeah.
I want a guy to run naked with Jello all over him, singing "I'm an Oscar Mayer winner." Whatever. Like, let's make it a little gritty. Like, baseball could use a little bit of that.
Yeah.
But would this be a problem if Major League Baseball wasn't batting 220-something as a whole
Man,
right
It wouldn't be
Maybe.
because they weren't batting 220-something 2 years, 3 years, 4 years ago.
Exactly.
They
So
weren't
it's to
doing it with
increase the
McGuire. Yeah,
offensive production, which is
That's
what
it.
people want to see.
exactly. That's my whole point. That's my whole point in bringing this whole thing up.
But
that's what they're doing it for.
My granddad was a Yankee. He was from the Bronx and all. He liked the pitcher's duel. he liked,
And some people do. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, so I think you're not going to make everybody happy. Some guys thought that 85 Bears were the greatest. Some people think that the greatest show on turf was
Look, your granddad used to probably sit on the porch and watch the ball game. People don't have time to do
That's
that
right.
anymore.
That's
So,
right.
I mean, there's not a lot of people that actually sitting on the front porch and watch anymore because there's too much other
It
stuff
wouldn't
going on.
it wouldn't
They
hurt
can
baseball.
watch it later.
That's right. It wouldn't hurt baseball if they were no longer a boy band, because that's what
That's
baseball's
true.
turned into.
So true. So true.
You know.
What you need, big man?
Can I get a little unsweet tea?
A
while
waiter's
we're-
looking for a vacuum charger.
Thank you.
What's
Here
your
at
name?
Mama
Come
June's. Come on
here,
over,
man. What's
everybody.
your name?
You done come over now.
Your name's Tyler.
Yes, sir.
And how long you been working here?
Working here for about a month now.
About a month now. You squat down a
There you
little
go.
bit. He's there trying to say. He's telling you squat down a little bit. They can't see you in the camera.
Hello.
Oh, that's all you got to say is hello? Come out to Mama June's. Tyler said he wants to be your waiter.
There you
Is
go.
that what you call him now? Waiter or what do you call yourself?
A server.
A server.
Yes,
sir.
And he wants you to leave a big tip for him is what he
Come
said.
see Tyler and the rest of the folks out at Mama June's on Perimeter Road.
And Jared said, get him some tea.
Please. Please. Thank you
Please.
so much.
Thank
Unsweet.
you, man. I appreciate
Unsweet.
it. Thank you for
sir.
coming by.
I'm another one of those.
We're good here at Mama June's.
Not that I know
That's
of.
all I got on my sheet, actually.
NCAA proposal for
Yeah.
12 games.
The
You want to touch
playoffs?
on that again?
Yeah, I think we should.
Go ahead, touch on it because we got to go. We're
Well,
running our time out.
That's
We're
okay.
fixing to close.
That's right. That'll be okay. It helps the SEC, like I said, because you're going to put the Notre Dames in. You're going to put the Pac-10 team in. Some Utah State's going to win. So those four, everybody complains about Georgia not getting in, or whatever other one or two loss. Whoever loses the SEC title game doesn't get in a lot of times. This 12-team format allows those teams to get in. But the problem is somebody's going to be 13th screaming they should have got in. But go ahead.
I understand what you're saying, but let's look at it from this aspect. I agree that there should be 12. I think there should be 16. My question is, who gets to bye? Is it the two top teams, or is it one top team from the SEC, one top team from the Big 12, one top team from all these other places? Or is it, okay, the top three teams get a bye and everybody else, 4 plays 12, 3 plays 11, so on and so forth. So the question being is, how are you going to bring the buys into it, and are the top, how many teams are actually going to get a bye if you have a 12-team solution?
Well, now, if we're asking my opinion of what I think,
Yeah, what you know? Because we
I-
don't.
I-
Do we
I
know?
like-
Hold on
I-
one second. Do we know, Jimmy, what they're actually doing? What the proposal is?
The proposal's 12.
Yeah, it's 12. But as far as the buys and
Oh, they hadn't announced that
Well,
yet
don't
that I
need
could
that.
find.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I like 1 versus 2 in the polls like it was when I was a kid. That's me.
Right.
I don't need a college football playoff. If you're undefeated and I'm a 1-loss team and I lost to you or a top 5 team, and they used to get the polls pretty close.
Right.
And you had years like where Colorado and Georgia Tech split a national championship. But for the most part, you look at those years where Penn State played Miami or Nebraska played Florida State or whatever. College football, for the most part, got it right with 1 versus 2.
right.
It was very rare that there was an argument. It seems to work itself out. Usually you've got 1 undefeated. There's never 3, so you don't have that. I don't remember a year where 1 and 2 played where they weren't 1 and 2 based on their records, and 3 got shunned. I could be wrong. It sort of always works itself out. I don't like the playoff thing. I like the way college football was before, but that's
Right,
I'm an old school.
But we're going to the
12, yeah.
So the question of the 12 is, your opinion, 1, 2, 3. Do the 1, 2, 3 get a bye? That's in the actual seeding, and then 4 plays 11. 12. 11 plays 5, so on and so forth.
Give your top 4 a bye. Can you do that?
I don't know. What
I don't know why
you're-
you don't just say to heck with it. If you don't win your conference,
conference.
you don't play. Period.
But
I don't care.
But there's
I don't
not
care
12. How many
if there's 2.
conferences are there? You're going to
That's
put
what I'm saying. Just take your
top
conferences.
conferences?
Period. However many there is,
right.
and be through with.
But
there
then you
ain't
have
no
people
number
like-
2 going to play.
Yeah, but you know they're not going to do that. They're going
They're
to go
not
by the
gonna do it.
BCS. But
Well-
so my question is, Jimmy, do you think the top 3 should get a bye, or top 4? How would you? Because you know one's going to play 12 if nobody gets a bye. and
Number
that's just
one
not
should get a
gonna work
bye.
out.
They earned it.
Just number 1.
Just number one.
All right. and
If
every-
you want your bye, you win your games or shut up.
okay.
I
So
mean,
I
You
don't
can make it.
how
You
is
can
that
make
gonna
it.
work,
You
though?
can make it 4, right, to make it even.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You're going to have to do. You're
And
gonna
make
have
it
to do
brackets.
4 different brackets. Well, 3 different. What is it? It'd be 3 different
Yeah.
brackets because you have 4 different teams in each bracket.
Yeah.
So then nobody would get a bye.
I guess because you're going to have teams. You should be able to do your conference winners, but people like Notre Dame and their big NBC contract, they're not gonna join a conference.
So the question there is
Maybe
so
they shouldn't be eligible.
If you're going to have the 4 brackets, where the 3 brackets with 4 teams, so you're going to put team 1 through 4 in separate brackets, or are you going to then put team 1 through 4 in the same bracket and make them play, and then you've got all these other teams in the back end?
I think the smart
So-
thing is use geography.
Use 1 in each. Well, I don't know, because you could have all the SEC in one bracket then, and then they're going to just wipe the floor with
But-
everybody else.
But they were in the same division for 3 months.
I know. That's
So
what I'm
so
saying.
why should Georgia go play Oregon and cost all that money and then give them their
Because
fans the false sense of hope that they can beat Alabama when we can just go ahead and play Alabama now?
Well,
I mean-
I understand that, but that's what I'm getting at is I think the diversity of one playing 11, but again, if we break it down into 4 brackets or 3 brackets, 4 teams, and then you have the top 4 teams go in each bracket.
Mm-hmm.
And then you take the bottom 4 teams in each bracket, and then you move to the next bracket, and you go that way with it.
I think college football should call college basketball and go, yo,
Yeah, there you go.
however y'all are doing it, we need to modify ours,
Can we have your planner on staff for
but
us?
we need that because that works for us.
Exactly. I completely agree. What you got, Timmy?
I'm just looking at Division II has 28 teams to go, and they do a playoffs and don't seem to have a problem with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And the cream always rises. North Dakota State or is it
Or
that's Division
BSU
two? That's
or-
Division 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to be those top teams always end up. And listen, I don't think it would happen, but I don't know, UCLA beating Alabama in the second round of a playoff would be good for business.
Oh,
Yeah.
it would because
I don't think it would happen, but it would be good for it.
But
There's not
that's
buzzer
why-
beaters in football.
That's why you play the game, though.
That's right.
That's
you have
why
to
you
play
play
it.
the game.
It could be good for them. The top teams are going to scream. I don't think you'll
Yeah.
get Nick Saban wanting to play more than what he's playing. I mean, he's got the thing kind of cornered.
Well, yeah, of course he does. 'cause
Ohio
he's-
State wouldn't want to.
He's playing the hard teams now. He don't have to play them later.
Yeah,
So,
Ohio
but,
State.
But like, as you
Well, if
pointed
you
on
play,
the last
if you
show,
play the hard teams now, that prepares you for later.
that's how I look at it. And I figure that if that's why you're going to see all those other teams in the West are just going to fall off because they're not playing the caliber of teams that we're playing.
Yeah.
Maybe when you make your schedules, you should have a playoff schedule made up by the NCAA where you don't play powder puffs to give you a 9-0 record because, like you said, SEC for the last 10, 15, 20 years, they have been the dominant one that knock each other out during the regular season. It's not fair that Oregon State Beavers play nobody.
Can you imagine that, though? Can you imagine the top 12 teams going? There was 7 SEC teams in the top 12 at the end of the year last year? Or the year before that when it was a real season?
Well, the NFL takes your say you're a playoff team, the following year you play a playoff team schedule.
Yeah.
So if you're a top 25 team in NCAA football, they should make your schedule, hey, you should play this many
Yeah.
top 25s from last year and yada yada. It could be done. I don't know what the answer is. 12 teams I think definitely helps the SEC, ACC get in there so that they can appease those other Pac-12s and stuff.
I will say this. They can figure out how to get it done, but you do not get to play in if you are not in a conference.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay
well,
with that. I'm okay
yeah,
with that.
I think you're going to find out that they're going to do BCS. It doesn't matter whether you're in a conference or not. I think you're going to roll in the BCS, and the BCS is going to show. The BCS is going to be the top. I almost bet on that one.
You have to play a top 25 schedule too.
Yeah, but you're not going to.
Yeah.
Look, let's
But I
face
mean,
it.
look at Notre Dame. I mean, they
Yeah.
don't play nobody.
Exactly, and that's why they got
And
their
then they
rear end
go
tore up.
12-0 every year, get to the playoffs, and then
Get smoked.
thrushed.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, whose birthday?
It's another
Happy
birthday.
birthday
Whose
to
bir-
me.
You know, speaking of
happy
birthdays, we
birthday.
have somebody on set that has a birthday tomorrow.
Who?
Really?
Yes.
One of our
Aiden. Come here a minute.
Going around
Come
there,
here.
Aiden. Hey, we'll get the girls to come
All right.
over here and clap.
Hey, everybody. Just so everybody knows, Aiden is an apprentice right now. He's working with Chris on our computer set. Can you see Aiden, or is he just too tall?
He's too tall.
All right,
Come
Aiden,
over
you're
here,
going to
Aiden.
have to squat down. Aiden. Oh, see, Aiden, come here. Aiden, listen. Get down here. Get down to my
He's
level.
one of the guys
Get
that
down
makes
here.
it happen for us.
Come down here.
If Aiden and
Can you see
Chris,
Aiden now?
Andrew, and Jimmy back there.
Yeah, they're in the back, and they're doing all this. But Aiden's actually the apprentice right now. He is in high school. He goes to Lowndes High, and he's on their marching band.
Yeah.
What else do you do?
Marching band, I play the vibes.
He played the what?
I play vibes.
Vibes?
It's like a giant metal xylophone.
Oh wow.
So he vibes.
I couldn't do it.
So
When he
everybody,
says he's
can say
vibing, he's really
vibing.
good.
He's vibing. What? Get back on. Don't get out of the screen, man. So he's vibing. You're playing your GPA. You got a good GPA from what I hear. Yeah.
How old are you gonna be tomorrow?
17.
17.
Man, we were almost. Peaches is down the road.
Yeah, it is, dude.
God.
Birthday next year.
Got Mama June's for Aiden this year.
Yeah, Ada's at Mama June's, and we appreciate everything you do. And happy birthday to
Absolutely,
you, man.
yeah. Happy
And
birthday.
if there's anything we can do for you, and sure
We can
everybody
talk your
wants
dad
to.
into. We'll do it.
Well, yeah, we can't do that right now. There's Mom sitting here.
All right.
So anyway,
But yes, he's one of the
Well,
ones that
so
keeps us going. If it wasn't for him,
he actually helped work all these bugs out that we've had over the last 3 months. He's been here. He's actually going to take Chris's spot when Chris teaches him everything that's going on. He's serious. We can hear you're actually
He was
serious.
he was so
Let
serious.
me tell you what's going on there. His dad was going to get the waiters and waitresses to come in and sing happy birthday to him, and he was saying no, no, no. And then so he went to sat down beside his dad. His dad forgot to cut off his mic. His dad is Jimmy. Forgot to cut off his mic, and that's what he was saying. No, 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 I'm serious. Your
He's
mic
still
is
on.
still on, dude.
He's upset. He's eating his pizza here at Mama
He's like,
June's.
I
though.
don't care. He's 17. He don't care.
That's right.
He's
He's a man now. That's right. He's a man
You owe me
now.
a Coke, bro.
He's a man now.
Oh, and his mom.
His
sits
mom
back
said,
here,
"No, he is
ain't
not."
a man. All right, guys. I think that's going to be about it. We'll be back with you from JoJo's Mac and Cheese Shack out on Bay Tree Road on Tuesday. And
But right now we're at Mama June's Deliciousness.
right now we're at Mama June's. See, what we do is we say Mama June's when we're at JoJo's, and we say JoJo's when we're at Mama June's. So we're just mixing it up. The whole point is we're at two
Good
places.
eats at both places.
On Tuesday night we're out there, and on Thursday night we're over here. And as you can see, they've got a nice spread. You can
As soon as we go off camera, we're gonna hit it up.
We've got 5 minutes to catch it, so we're out of here. Anything else you got, man?
Man, that is it.
Jimmy?
Have a good night.
JoJo.
Jimmy's wife's here. That's why he's being awful quiet in the
No,
back.
I hadn't ate yet. I'm ready to go
Oh,
get
he's
some
ready
food.
to go get some food. All right. All
Come
right.
out to Mama June's.